Hey, this is Rebus here with a couple of Diablo 3 tips. I've been reading a lot about demon hunters on the forums because, naturally, like all of you, I'm interested in maximizing how I play this game and making sure that I get the best out of everything. And I'm really surprised that a lot of people seem to be doing skills wrong, I would say. Like, there's a lot of things that people are talking about. They're talking about Hungering Arrow and Nether Tentacles and all this crap, and Nether Tentacles heals you for like 3% of the damage does, and because it's percent healing, it's reduced by 80% when you're playing an Inferno. So you're basically only healing yourself for like 1% of the damage that Nether Tentacles does, which means that if your Nether Tentacles, say, critting for 60k, that you're healing yourself for like, what is that, 60? 600? A very low amount. Basically, it's relatively trivial compared to the amount of life that you have, and it costs a lot of hatred. And I see some people, using multi-shot, which costs a lot of hatred and doesn't really do that much damage. And there's a lot of ways that you can really maximize the amount of damage that you do, and the amount of hatred that you generate, and the amount of damage that you can take. In a lot of ways that people on the internet don't really seem to be doing. So I'm going to show you my skill build, and then I'm going to go through a really quick butcher run, and I'm going to show you how well it works and how effective it is. Alright, so basically what I'm doing here is grenades generate 6 hatred, which is a lot of hatred, and I'm making it generate more hatred with Grenadier, which makes it drop and generate an additional 2 hatred. So it's generating 8 hatred every time I cast it. My attack speed's pretty fast. I'm using a relatively fast one-hander, and I've got a little bit of attack spin in gear, so I can generate a lot of hatred when I need to. And I'm dumping that in the most effective way on Impale. Impale does 250 damage plus an additional 75 damage to all enemies within 10 yards. So it does a lot of free AoE, and to the primary target it actually does 325% weapon damage for 35 hatred. And you compare that to something like Elemental Arrow with Nether Tentacles, it's like 155, and costs about a third as much. And this does so... No, about half as much, because 10 is about half of 25, right? So Impale is much more hatred effective, and I'm generating more because, remember, I'm getting 8 hatred from grenades, unlike the 3 that you get from Hungering Arrow every time. Alright? So I'm using Shadow Power Gloom, which is really good. It enables me to lifesteal, and I'm using Smokescreen. A lot of people are using Smokescreen, and I've got Choking Gas Rune, so I can do a little bit more damage to things. It does something like 350% weapon damage total if something stands in it for 5 seconds, which a lot of things are going to. And then I've got Shrieking Clad. Now, Shrieking Clad is really good. It does 59% damage, weapon damage, a second for 120 seconds for 10 hatred, which means that you're doing about... It's a bunch of free weapon damage. And then I've got Fan of Knives as my final skill, so that I've just kind of got a little bit of a panic button, and just because it does a really large amount of damage for a very small hatred cost. So basically, I'm really hatred efficient. I've got Grenadier, which we already talked about, then, so I can get a little bit of hatred just from killing things, so I don't have to worry about throwing as many grenades, and Kolba Weak, so that when I use Fan of Knives as a panic button, I can do a little bit more damage to things around me. So let's get this show on the road. I'm going to turn down my game sound a little bit. Good enough. I should probably turn this down a little bit. Whatever. Alright, so we're going to start our normal run in Butcher. Now, the way this works is you want to try to get 5 stacks, and then kill the Warden, and then kill the Butcher. You want to get 5 stacks before you kill the Warden, because Warden has the exact same drop tables as the Butcher, which a lot of people know, I'm sure. But just in case you didn't, that's the way it works. And he's really easy to kill. He does really quick. Not quite as quick as these guys, but it's just a nice free 2 rares, so that you can start gearing up and getting ready for Act 2. And this build also works really well in Act 2. A lot of people have trouble in Act 2 because things do so much damage, and because they shoot all those little bugs, and there's guys. And this build works a little bit better because you get to use a shield, unlike some other builds. And I'll show you my gear in a little bit when I get to that point. First, I'm just gonna go through and pop some barrels. There doesn't seem to be too many mobs in this game, which is a little bit frustrating because the demon hunters are really they really shine in AoE situations. They're not like witch doctors that only do like 5 billion% weapon damage if there's one target and their back is in the corner by shooting bears at them or whatever. So we'll get to that in a second. Alright, so here we have our first 2 blue packs if Enchantress is... okay, so these guys, if you don't kill them, turn into a blue, but Enchantress is a cunt bag and had to do that for us. Alright, so let's clear these out real fast. And then we can go down and pick up that other blue pack we saw. Alright, so when you kill a blue pack in this game, if you're unfamiliar, it gives you a buff called Nephilim Valor, which increases your gold and magic find by a large amount per stack. I forget the exact number offhand. And also, when you're at 5 stacks, or actually as you go up, it forces bosses to drop additional loot. So when you kill a boss with 5 stacks of National Valor, you're guaranteed 2 rares, and you get something like 2 or 3 times as many blues, in addition to those guaranteed 2 rares that you would have if you'd killed the boss normally. So Nephilim Valor is a very good buff, and you can see I've got 1 stack of it. It lasts for half an hour, and if I change skills or leave the game, it will drop. Or if I change acts, which is kind of a weird thing that Blizzard included. I don't know if it was intentional. Like, it's kind of dumb, honestly. I think that you can't, like, kill, Butcher and then start on Act 2 with 5 stacks, because I think that would be a really good way of incentivizing people to not just do boss runs over and over again, because it is kind of boring to do Butcher for the 300th time or whatever. Alright. So we're just rounding up a few more of these cultists. Make sure that you keep your Shuken Cloud up all the time, because it is a significant source of damage. It does 30% of your weapon damage or so every second to things standing near you, which is most of the time. Alright. So we're moving along right quick here. Got another pack. This one's Fire Chains Arcane Enchanted, so it might be a little bit tougher than the last one we faced. But I don't see myself having too many problems. Okay. So there is a limit to the amount of damage that you can take with Shadow Power Gloom. You cannot stand in a Desecrate with a Arcane Sentry hitting you while you're being hit by Fire Chains. That does seem to be the limit. I was hoping I could really show you exactly how much damage you can just tank by standing around on top of mobs with all your dots ticking, and how much damage you really do to things, but that mob is really nasty for melee characters like Demon Hunters, so that mob type. So we're just going to go back and kite it a little bit. This is kind of like, I don't know if you've seen the bar build where you just throw axes at things. There's a couple of variants. There's one where you actually do damage with axes, and there's one where you just run it as a secondary skill, so you can stupefy things. But this is kind of like that, in that it takes a normally melee class and then gives it the ability to play ranged a little bit with impale and grenades if you have to. Like, you don't have to just melee things in the face. I'm trying to remember exactly where I was. I died. I do apologize for this. Alright. So they're going to drop Desecrate. Phew, and here goes Enchantress. That's a really good skill that she has. He's Desecrating again. Desecrate is not the most fun thing to play against. Neither is, I mean, again, all those other things are just really nice for melee. You might die a couple of times when you're doing this, but it shouldn't be too much, and it should mostly be because you're not really managing your cooldowns right, and you're getting in way over your head. But this is overall just really nice and effective for priming. Oh balls, it's not this way, is it? Alright. So Enchantress, let me talk about her a little bit. I think that Enchantress is the best follower, period. And the reason is because she's got, like, so many useful skills. Your Inferno, your followers generally tend to die really fast in Nightmare, and if you're only going to get 1 or 2 casts off, then I think that Enchantress is one of the best ones to use, because Charm makes an enemy fight for you, and enemies do so much damage in Inferno that they start one-shotting each other. Her pool does a bajillion damage, so that's really good. Alright, let me refresh that real fast. And I'm getting feared into Desecrate, that's not good. No bueno. And I pulled another pack. I'm the best at this game. The best. Please don't die to a door.
Not
Self.
enough discipline.
I'm gonna die to a door. Um, Alright, so again, this build does have a little bit of problems with, pulling multiple packs when they're so anti-melee like that. I just personally have a couple of Desecrator because I'm not very good at dodging things. As you saw there, like, I just really suck at dodging things. Anyway, so Enchantress, Charm enemies will basically one-shot each other, and she can cast that as soon as she's up. Reflect Missiles is really good. Powered Armor is also really good, but I think Reflect Missiles is better, because on the off chance that you screw up, it gives you just a little bit of extra leniency in later acts when things start to one-shot you. Erosion does, like, with her, it does like fucking 12,000 damage a second for several seconds. Oh god. Alright, let me try not to stand in stuff this time. Alright, and we got it down. See, not too much trouble. I hate looting desecrated mobs, and just mobs in this game do so much damage when they blow up. Or when you kill them. I've never understood why Blizzard chose to make elite packs more dangerous when you kill them than when you don't. I should actually probably repair, because my stuff with yellow a couple days ago. So I'm gonna get up to my corpse, move into Act 2, and repair. So, like I was talking about, I'm 3 stacks right now. And that has a pretty, where's my inventory? Good effect on my magic and gold find, as you can see. I'm up to 45% above, which is pretty good. Pretty good indeed. And gives me a little bit more chance of getting good drops. My inventory's full. I'm actually going to have to sell fairly soon, so I can do that when I repair. I don't think anything is like, 4, not too bad. 17, I'm open to like 22, yeah, I'm okay. For at least a little bit. I am the worst at dodging things today. I'm getting a little bit of lag because of my stream, but honestly it's not that. It's honestly just me being bad. So. And if you're like, why would I want to take advice from somebody who's so bad at dodging things? A technical skill and theory crafting skill are not the same. Like, you can clearly see, even though I'm not playing optimal, this is like completely way faster than clearing this with elemental arrow or whatever. Like, way faster. Alright, let me build some hatred. Look at how fast that builds hatred. Like, hatred every time. And remember that I've got 130 max because of the passive that I'm using. So I've got even more hatred than a lot of the guys that take this silly passives. I don't understand how you're supposed to get the steady aim or whatever, the one that makes you do more damage when there's nothing within 20 yards. Like, so, okay, so this one right here would have been a free blue, and I could have gotten a free stack if Enchantress hadn't killed her right there. And I realized that I'd probably hit it before she did, but the projectile was in the air when I hit it. So it's not entirely my fault. I was thinking about it. I didn't just blindly not heed my own advice. You can tell because there's normally, I think 3 guys standing around one guy, and they're kind of channeling little fireballs at him. Yeah. Gonna get a little bit more damage in here by using smoke rings. Helps him kill things a little bit faster. Alright, so we're at 3 stacks right now. You normally get about 2 stacks in the room before Butcher. I can always backtrack or go elsewhere in the act if I have to, so... yeah. Sorry, just talking to a friend real quick. So anyway, you can normally get about 2 stacks in the rooms when you're clicking on the skeleton corpses or whatever, so that you can summon the warden. So as long as you're at about 3 stacks when you get to that, oh, you could get a free stack here if the event spawns, but it did not look like it spawned that much. So, yeah. Pew. Pew. No, actually, it's really weird. I didn't spend very much on this weapon, but Demon Hunters, the Demon Hunter unique crossbows actually cost less than melee weapons, which is weird. Like, why would Blizzard want Demon Hunters to use ranged weapons? I mean, that just makes no sense. So, I mean, obviously you don't want to use one because none of your skills that you use deal with that, so make sure you are using a nice and slow weapon too, because of the way skills that do weapon damage work. Like, Shooting Cloud probably didn't get with attack speed, or I would be surprised if it did anyway. Alright, so we got another Fire Chains pack. Wow, this game hates me. Shielding too. Okay, it's gonna be fun. Pew. Alright, gonna rebuild some hatred. And try to kite this a little bit. Oops, I don't actually have any hatred. And I'm gonna pull a second pack. I need a little bit more health regen in this build. I was thinking about running, or I've been thinking about running, and actually playing with it, the Garen passive, whatever it's actually called. But I'm not actually running it right now. If I did, oh look, so you can see that the extra MF from Nephilim Valor stacks really working there. Let me make sure that that doesn't drop off and refresh Shrieking Cloud. So you can see Enchantress being a deer, and those mobs are actually knocked back. So she charmed one and it knocked back the others, which is really cool. Alright, there we go. 2 champ packs, no deaths. I'm at 5 stacks now, so I can just go around, finish this off, and summon the Warden. I'm going to have a full inventory. I'm going to sell things in a second, but I need to repair anyway, so I can wait until then. No, I can't wait until then. Yes, I can. Screw whites. Alright, so as you can see, this is going like really, really smoothly and fast. Q, not too much trouble at all. I really need to like set a 120-second timer for that skill, just so that I can tell when it's going to be up again. The one thing that I do miss from trying cookie cutter builds was that you don't get tactical advantage, so you're slow all the time, so you can't just dump discipline to run fast. But that's okay. I mean, you don't need that. You don't need to run fast. You can hear the Warden getting angry that I'm running around clicking on corpses. Funnily enough, he doesn't get angry when you like kill things and loot them, just when you click on things that have been dead for a very long time. He's like a museum guard. He only cares about things that are old. Alright, let me not find the door. Pew. So you can see like really how efficient this build is at both building and generating hatred. Again, like Hungering Arrow gives you like 3, and if you're running Mark for Death, the thing that gives you hatred back when you hit things, whatever that's called, which like nobody does, then it gives you a little bit more, but still, like, 3 hatred is not a lot, especially when you have 300. So grenades is just much better at generating it, and again, Impale does like 300% weapon damage, so there's no point in not using it. Alright, let me get a little bit of lifesteal here. Oh, I let Chakram fall off. I'm so sorry. I'm usually a little bit better about that. Alright. Just a few left. Pew. God, where is it? Oh, hey! We got another champ back here. And it's shielding. Cool. Hate that. Please stop being shielded. Oops. Shielding and mortar. Mortar is actually really hard for melee because you guys have a tendency to get a little bit split up, and then if you're meleeing one, you're going to get mortared by the other, and mortar does significantly more damage than the mob's normal attacks. Chew! Alright, and we got him. And I need to repair anyway. Checkpoint isn't too far. I probably could have cut it a little bit better, but... whoops. I was having a little bit of trouble managing my hitter there in the end, which was my fault. So let me repair and dump some of this crap real fast, and then we can get on with the run. We're almost on Warden. We just have to kill like the last dude in front of him. Just a quick tip, you want to vendor everything that's useless and not level 60 or a level 59 piece of jewelry or follower relic. Those you want to shard, because shard prices are absolutely ridiculous right now. So I'm just going through and making sure that I get everything that's not level 60. There's a crap. That's crap. That's extra crap. I don't really understand why the game is designed. Well, I kind of do. There's a huge amount of loot in Diablo 2 that drops that isn't useful at all. And you want to get really, really good at identifying it nice and quickly. So I'm just going to throw this, well, I'm not going to throw this in the stash, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to get that many drops. I don't want to bore you all with me sharding and identifying everything. Alright, so we know where the last guy is, and we can just find him. I'm in a little bit over 5 stacks. I got a nice refresh off of that yellow. I don't think he dropped anything too good. We're going to move on to the Warden. And the Warden is a nice and easy fight. Like, he keeps summoning things, but it doesn't really matter because all your damage is AoE around you, and you're just kind of standing on top of him anyway. Where was it? I swore it was up here somewhere. Oh yeah, here it is. Alright. So let's just clear these out. Grab the loot off of that last yellow, wherever he is. I think it was down here somewhere. I really wish this game did a better job of telling you where you died, but I understand that their design was not to have players run back this much, but that's just kind of the way Demon Hunter works. I mean, you take 30% more damage than Barbs and amongst the other melee classes for whatever reason, and I don't really understand why, but Blizzard, I guess, felt like pre-nerfing them, because they're pretty good, which, you know, whatever, they're pretty good. I can live with that. I can grab a Frost Shrine so I take a little bit less damage here. Alright. And you can see the Warden dies really fast with all of the damage that you do, and I got some okay loot, like that's a rare ring, myself or something, depending on what stats it has. Rings are really expensive in this game, and you can also flip them really nicely. Alright, so we've got one more zone, and then we're going to move up onto Butcher. Usually in this zone there's a couple of nice and free. Did you see how much damage her dot did? Like, it was ticking for like a quarter of their health. And she doesn't have very good gear. Enchantress, you want to get as much int and I guess a little bit of vite and maybe some armor as you can. Because she gets 2.5 bonus from int also adds resist, so you don't really need to worry about that too much. You might want to get a little bit of armor because otherwise she doesn't get any because you can't like give her armor. But like the stat armor she doesn't get because she doesn't have any of the pieces. She just has those 3 things and a relic. So you want to get a little bit of vite and stam, or sorry, int and a little bit of vite so that she does a little bit less, but you can't keep her from doing things like standing in Asmodee's fire or whatever. Vulnerable minions. Cool. Alright, so it's hurt a little bit, as you can see, but we should get them next time. And vulnerable minions are really hard, and I did a pretty crappy job managing my hatred, but, or not hatred, discipline. I keep thinking about grabbing that thing that gives you hatred back whenever you crit, but it just never quite seems worth it to me. Alright, so a lot of people have trouble with vulnerable minions. As long as you... I probably could have just managed my discipline slightly better, and tanked that entirely with Shadow Power. Like, they don't do too much damage. You do more than enough damage to the one target with this build to easily tank mobs like that, even mortar ones, as long as you're able to consistently deal damage. Like, if they have, like, Desecrator or something, and you have to be moving around, or Fire Chains, then it's obviously a little bit harder. But just normal packs are really easy. Alright, so this one, let's see if Enchantress manages to not kill it, so we can get our, so that I can prove that you get free stacks from these, rather. Alright, here he comes. Here he comes. Phew. Water frozen knockback teleport. Kind of nice. Or nasty, rather. Alright. So you can see that it's not really too hard to just clear these out. How's my space doing? I'll run out of space on Butcher. Nothing to worry about. Butcher is normally down there. I don't know why I'm going up here. This build is really fun, though. So it's not too bad. Like, you've got plenty of things to manage, plenty of cooldowns. It's nice and fun. So I'm going to just Shadow Power to get a little bit of my life from that great back. Make sure to keep that up. Pew. Greats are just so nasty to deal with when you're not running that thing that makes you run fast when you pop smoke screen. Tactical advantage, there we go. I feel like, as a Demon Hunter. And they last for so long, like, nobody wants to actually wait around for that to finish, you know? That's a lot of gold. I can go back and pick that up. So it shouldn't be too much longer before we find the entrance. We're just looking for that at this point. 5 stacks already. Packs actually have relatively nice drop tables compared to normal mobs, like champion packs. So the blue and yellow mobs you see. So it's not a bad thing to kill them after you have 5 stacks already. And next patch they're going to make it so that they drop a guaranteed rare instead of a most of the time rare when you're at 5 stacks, which is going to be pretty cool. Just to give players a little bit more of an incentive to keep playing the game after they've killed the boss or whatever. So that's going to be pretty cool. I'm just going to blow a little bit of discipline here, because why not? Butcher is a really interesting fight in that, like, he basically doesn't do anything if you just stand on him and melee him. And I find that I do a pretty okay job of dealing with everything, even if I don't run prep. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully this will be a one-shot because I'm recording. Pew. Doing plenty of damage. Alright. He doesn't do too much damage, as you can see. Oh, gosh. It's probably not the best way for me to run out of there. And I'm going to get hooked back in one shot. Alright, so that was bad luck on the fire. I do apologize for that. I should have saved a smoke screen, but I didn't have the discipline right there. Normally he doesn't chain you and do the thing that stuns you and one-shots you unless you get out of melee range, which you really shouldn't be doing, but there was fire spawning under me, so I kind of had to. Or I felt like I had to. I don't know if I actually had to. I don't have that much fire resist in this build, and although I have okay life regeneration, I really don't trust myself just to stand there and tank everything. Alright, so whenever you cast that line thing there, oh gosh, he really does like making fire right where I'm standing, doesn't he? Yeah, there you can see the big hook, and I'm just going to discipline to get out of that nice and safely. Shadow Power my health up back a little bit. You can dodge those swings really easily, or you can just dodge them with like your dodge thing, where you dodge things. And there's Butcher, 5-stack Butcher, down really quickly. That was just a few minutes. I'll get the time on the recording. I'm sure you guys watching this on YouTube can just look down at that. So that's just a really quick guide of how you play Demon Hunter in Inferno difficulty. As you can see, it's a pretty okay class. So I'm going to go through and render this. I don't know if you want to watch. If you want to get a quick look at my gear, it's basically just something really, really standard. Like I'm getting dex, fight, resists, attack speed. Like this is really not that expensive gear. And I hope you enjoy this and that this enables you to play Demon Hunter a little bit better and expand your horizons. Thank you. Fuck it. I'm just gonna keep screwing. I'm sure I'm sharding something that's worth a dick ton, or vendoring or whatever. But honestly, fuck that. I don't want to have to pay attention. Holy shit, is my weapon broken? No, it's not. Crap. Gold. Gold. Crap. Crap. Gold. Crap. 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 It's a lot of lifesteal. Still crap. It's got 120 in. Crap. Crap. I can't believe, like, how do you even roll a ring with that crap? Those will probably sell for nothing. What am I kidding? Oh fuck, those are sub 60. I'm such an idiot. That was sub 60. What am I doing?